Welcome to today's question of the day, which comes from Nick, and Nick asks, in summary, do you get to go home after A school? So today, let me share with you my thoughts and opinions. Before I do begin, if you have a question, leave it in the comment section down below, and I will give you a video response such as this. Now, Nick, here is how I know the process to be. Now, they may have made subtle changes here and there, right? But as of right now, this is how I know the process to be. Every single month, you get 2.5 leave days every month in the beginning of each month. So when you go to boot camp, right? You go to boot camp for 2 months, so that's 5 leave days. 2.5 times 2 is 5, right? And for example, this is how I've seen my friends as logistics specialists, they have done. LSA school is also 2 months long, right? So another 5 leave days with another 5 leave days creates 10 leave days, right? Let me backtrack a little bit. What you can't do, right, is after boot camp, take leave or go home and then go to A school. That's something you cannot do, okay? As far as I know, right? I may be wrong. Some things might have changed, but as far as I know, that is still to be the case, right? So what I have seen people do is after boot camp, right, and A school, you can work for a recruiter for 4 working days. A recruiter. It doesn't have to be your recruiter. It could be a recruiter, right? Any recruiter. Now it could be great or bad, right? You know, some recruiters are cool, right? You know, I've heard of people, right? They go to a recruiting station and they say, hey, you know, you want to be with your family, go home, right? And as soon as they walk into the door at 7 o'clock or whatever, you know, they get to go home right away and spend time at home also with their family, right? They just have to come in every single day and make sure they don't need to do anything. And the recruiter documents some hours, like, you know, maybe he only needs your help for 1 hour or 2 hours. Now that could also go the other way, where they actually need your help, and you're basically there, 9-10 hours of the day, and then you basically spend the late afternoon and also the evenings with your family, which is also great, but you don't get to maximize that time, right? So you can do that 4 days. What I've seen some people do coming out of LSA school is use that 5 vacation days, 5 leave days, right? Not vacation days, 5 leave days they accumulated from boot camp, 5 leave days that have accumulated from A school, and also the 4 working days they can work for the recruiter, and in total 14 days, and go home after A school to spend time with their family, right? That's something that I've seen to have happened, okay? Do I personally recommend it? No. I personally recommend you save your leave days and use it for 1 or 2 occasions. For family, right? Whether it's a big family party, biggest family gathering in the world, whatever. Or if there's like a death in the family, right? Because one of the biggest things that I personally disagree with the military, but it is what it is if there's a death in the family, right? And you want to go back home, you have to use your leave days, right? Like I said, 2.5 leave days every single month. In a year, that's 30 leave days, paid leave days, mind you. In my definition of a leave day is you should use your leave days, those 30 days, to maximize your time spent with family doing positive things, good things, right? Bonding, going on vacations and whatnot, right? That's how I define those 30 days to be, but that's not how the military defines it to be. So what I mean is, if there's a death in the family, right, and if you don't have any leave days, you can't go home, right? Some cases you may be able to go home. They may let you go home for let's say you have 1 leave day, right, and you want to go home for 5 days. Right now, you are going to incur a negative balance of 4 leave days, right? So you owe 4 leave days. So the next month comes around, now you have 1.5 negative leave days, right? So it kind of works out that you have to pay it back. So there isn't a death in the family free leave days where you can go see and spend, time with your family and moan and all that kind of stuff. That's one of the biggest things that I personally don't like about the military, but it's just what it is, right? Because, if you, let's say, maximize the time you spend with your family, all 30 days of the year, right? Let's say you spent that with your family, right? A 1 month, right? For the remaining 11 months, you're away, or you're away from your family. Now, maybe you're lucky enough and, you can drive home every other weekend or whatnot. But, for most people, you either live halfway across the country or the whole other side of the country. Or maybe even a different country, so you never know what the case is there. But so that's number one. In my definition, you should use your leave days as, right, using it to see your family. And number two, which is in conjunction, taking vacations, whether it is with your family or whether it's with you and a significant other, like your girlfriend. So personally for me, my first year in the military, I went to Korea with my family. Second year, went to Disney World with my girlfriend. Third year, this year, like 5 days ago, I just got back from Brazil, where I spent time with my girlfriend, right? So that's how you should use your leave days. Why? Because the military is very, very stressful, right? Some people will tell you, oh, the military is not that stressful. Yeah, it's because they haven't been to a stressful place. Many different things that I'm not going to go into, but it does get stressful, and it is important, very important, to look forward to vacations, look forward to time off. So, for example, when I said when there's a death in the family, right, and you have to go back home and you have to use your leave days, where in my opinion it shouldn't be. There should be a separate category for death in the family, but you're using your leave days where you should be taking R&R, rest and relaxation, from the military, right? It doesn't serve the service member right, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion, and this is how it is, right? I hope that answered your question. I know I kind of strayed off a little bit. So Nick, bottom line, can you go home after A school? And the answer to that question is yes, you can.